Sorry? You felt it was boring. You felt it was boring, or you know it was boring. The teacher was boring. Okay, right. Chant, did you like studying science in school?
Should I buy? I
You
private?
didn't try. I didn't try. Sorry, your father? During school time. Why not? You loved bio more. So whatever is difficult, you give up. That's what you are. Sometimes. Hmm. Terrible, terrible. Why? Hmm. Why is that? Explain. Why do you say it's terrible? A lot of diagrams to study. You had to buy heart a lot of things, that kind of thing. I don't understand. Biology is super fun. Mrs. Mihiri, what do you think about biology? It's interesting. Still, the human body. You mean botany was boring? Botany was boring. Biology, like the human body part, that lesson was interesting. Okay, right, right. But anyway, I didn't understand. The reason why people don't like science. I think the teachers are responsible for it. They were not passionate teachers. They were just killing time so that they get paid. I remember even in my A-level class, for some reason, chemistry was difficult, sense confusing, you know. But then today I understand, like Mihri said, when you study on your own, you understand, wow, chemistry is super fun as well. Because if you watch YouTube videos and stuff, you understand, oh my God, this is how they should have explained it to us. But in school, what happened was people who were going to tuition classes, they were ahead of us because they had seen those ball and stick models and stuff. Even let's say uh, let's say sulfuric. So how that is formed, you can easily show that with a ball and stick model. You know, but audio visual aids hardly did the teachers use. You get so that is why students had no idea what the teachers were talking about. Not everybody can read notes and get to university. We need creative people to get into universities, right? So audiovisual aids and sometimes realia, like real objects, um, they should have used in the classroom, and that is why both of you felt that the science period was boring. I'm right? Definitely. So what to do? Teachers, terrible. That's why I took to teaching to change the system. It's very difficult because even now you are here because you need support. Studying on your own, how do you do? Okay. So I'll tell you one thing. If I were you, I would answer like this. My God, I always loved science because of the curiosity I have had from the very beginning. Even today, I'm curious how this happens or whatever. And first thing I remember when I was a child, about 4 or 5 years old, I saw some grains of sand. And then I thought how it came to be, who created this thing. Like I asked my mom, I mean, how was it all created? Then my mother would be telling me, like, or maybe my father, we don't know, we don't talk about it. That is our Buddhist teaching. We don't worry about how it came into being. So when I grew up and when I went to school, although they did not talk about the creation itself, they talked about atoms, and then how a plant produces food, carbohydrates. So those things were super interesting. So I have been curious ever since. So the curiosity, the natural curiosity I have had, and I nurtured it. So I definitely fell in love, and now, now my passion is astrophysics. Okay, how the black holes form, aviation. Now my passion is mechanical engineering. I am trying to build a car. You know how I'm going to build a car? I'm going to build a car using push bicycles because now my passion is riding as well. So I think the push bicycle is a very efficient vehicle. So why not make it a four-wheeler? You understand? So I would say the natural curiosity I had was the reason why I love science. So this is my answer. You get it? Miss Mary, you like that answer? Why? Dislike? I said I liked science. And sometimes in the AL class, why I hated it. Yes, teachers were very bad. They were, I don't know. In Sri Lanka, we need greater teachers. Teachers are greedy. You get it? Immoral in Sri Lanka. Teachers, most teachers, tuition masters, greedy. They have no what you call core values. They hardly have. Okay, that's a good answer. Miss Mary, I'm really impressed with your speaking skills. Huh? So you clearly can score 7.0, but practice hard. Uh, but you are one of the best students. Why do you remember? Sorry, what is it? What do you remember about your science teachers at school? Interesting. Mrs. Mary, you start. Young teacher in all levels. For science. You mean biology as your subject for A levels? During A levels, what happened? You got terrible teachers. Teacher got retired. Sorry, I can't hear. So you compare the two teachers. Huh. That's the thing. That's the thing, you know. It's a mistake everybody does. You start comparing teachers rather than loving someone who's trying to help you. You get it? Maybe yes. So if you're grateful to anybody who's trying to help you out, it's one of my, you know, how do I say? So I believe. So I think. Okay? Personal opinion is that you should not judge or compare. Like if somebody is putting an effort, you should appreciate it and then you adjust. Okay, that's what happens. Like when you take tuition classes, you hate your school teacher. The school teacher also is a human being. He or she has feelings too, you know. So don't you think you made a mistake there? Like comparing your previous teacher and the teacher who's, you mean she was not putting any effort? Like how? Okay, now did you ask her any questions? Then what did she say? How would she respond? Yeah, yeah, do self-learning. Okay, then didn't you complain to the principal or the section head or the vice principal? Why not? You should do that. Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So you are a victim. You are wasting your time in school. Okay. You were in the ground. So Miss Mary, what was your dream like when you were studying? Like what had been your dream? Now, ideally, so you you started doing biology for what reason you tell? What expectations did you have? Doctor. Yeah. So why did you give up that idea? A-levels. Okay, how many times did you try it? Only 2 times. What happened to the third time? Why would you give up when there's an opportunity? Yeah, I get it. So you had problems. Simply had a problem. Okay, then even now you can join the medical college. You know that. Then why don't you work for it? So you are married, right? So if you're married, your husband provides and all. So rather than going abroad, yeah, it will be hard, right? But you're 30 now. So you got married at what age? 20, last year. So what have you been doing since 22, 29? Working. So you built a house? You built a house? Then, okay, you renovated. So, okay, that you did that. And what else did you do? Or- It's an external degree. How come it's an external degree when you study at Orator? Hmm. And can you use their laboratories and all? Why ESOFT? Ah, yes, like BIT. So you followed BIT, Bachelor of Information Technology. Ah, right. So that's an external degree. ESOFT trains you, so that's private. You spend a lot of money, right? I get it. So I get it. Interesting. So now you never want to be a teacher, a doctor, husband. You didn't get it. No, no. I don't know young people, even now. Shanot, when he first came to me. So he had just finished all of us. So I gave him proper guidance. Yes, Chana, did I give you good guidance? What did I tell you? You tell me. You had to take gap classes, right? Yeah. So I told you you have to learn basic maths, mathematic principles. You have to. You can't relax, otherwise you will lose your momentum. Yes. Yeah. So I think Mrs. Samanthi, like not Samanthi, Mrs. Mary, most of our gifted children, they are not properly guided even by school teachers. Soon after you do your O levels, you have to take gap classes and then keep the momentum going. Like there's a speed at which you do sums and all. So 6 months break is ruining most people. So if you want to enter a public university, you should take physics classes the moment you do all this. Otherwise, 6 months in the sense, the 11-year trend or the practice that you have had, the progress, it all comes to a halt and you have to start over again. And you'll never be good enough. You know, you forget things, my God, most of the things you have acquired, even logarithms, how to check logarithms, you forget. Okay, so he's on the right track. So, Chanel, you want to be what? Software engineer, civil engineer. That's a good path. Software engineers, you find plenty. They are the modern day farmers, I call. You agree? Now, uh, what is it? Samanthi. Yeah, but you tell her I said that. Honestly, back in the day, the most common, like I'm talking about 100 years back, the most common profession was farming. Okay. Nowadays, it's IT. So software engineers, they call themselves software engineers, but really, they are very common nowadays. Yes. So I call them modern day farmers. It's not really engineering, it's script writing. So you follow a flow chart and okay, Shano, do you agree that software engineers and like those who work in software are like modern day farms? You agree or you disagree? But why do you call it engineering? There's no engine involved in it. So there is no what do you call. No, let's say no. When you're a civil engineer, there is much you have to learn, like calculus, integration, like lot of things are involved when you build something. So what is it that a software engineer build? You tell me. I don't get it. They do coding. Yeah, so if you are a code, yeah, sorry, Bhutan. Now, I understand computer engineers, okay? Computer engineers, I believe they are engineers. This is just a point, okay? So electronics, you have to know electronics. You have to know properties of materials. So building a computer is difficult. Softwares, what the hell are you building? You're coding. Is it that difficult? Any weaver, any farmer can do that. Just you have to give them what you call proper course. Just like anybody can be a software engineer. You have to just learn the language. So there is no magic in it. So they are duped, like executives are called executives. Mrs. What's your name? Mrs. Meir, you agree with what I say? Do I have a point? Why not? Coding is super easy. May I tell you? Now, you call yourself an engineer if you build something new, right? If you make a new machine. And what the software engineers do is there is a language, there are commands and all, and they put them in place. So you're basically, what can I say, is a design. That's so. You're not a, what you call, an engineer. Engineer means, my God, you have to have so much capacity, I would say. This is just an argument. I'm not insulting anybody. I have an interesting idea. Okay, Miss Mary, what do you say about that argument? Refute if you like. Should not be what? What is it? Think in English. Come on, what is it? Think in English, I said. Working hard is a different topic. Farmers work hard. Okay. Now, there is something available. Like, building blocks are there. This is what I say. This is why engineers, software engineers are not engineers. Legos and building blocks. There are building blocks like of different types. So what you do is you place them in the right place. You have a plan. So if the building block is given to you, you know, are you are you an engineer? No, you call it a builder. What is that? Software builder is the right word. You don't call yourself an engineer. Okay, they are flattering themselves as what you call engineers. What I say is, okay, civil engineers and Buddha, you have masons, these architects, such people. Okay, make up software engineering. I don't know. Uh, to be honest, clearly. So who's the ground level laborer? Okay, Mrs. Mehri, you agree. You tell me. Who's the ground level laborer in software engineering? Tell me. Who? The software engineer himself, yes? Or the developer you call. So a developer is a software engineer. So how is it? I don't get it. So this is a very, I would say cunning plan the industry had to attract gifted young people into this field. giving them a crown like, okay, you are an engineer. We give you a good salary equivalent to that of a of an engineer. But in reality, you are a builder who's, being addressed as an engineer. You agree with me? No, disagree. Come on, have your opinion. You had to call them software builders, ladies. Okay, kind of, yes, definitely. Right. Shanot, you agree? Kind of. What do you remember about your science teachers at school? Right. Chanatputta, you talk about your science teacher at school. His method of teaching you liked, right? So difficult concepts, he teaches simply. It's easy to grasp, you mean to say. It's easy to grasp those concepts. Yes? Okay, brilliant. What do you remember about your science teachers at school? To be honest, Mrs. Mehri, from grade 1 to grade 11, I was lucky to get the best teachers in the island for science. For some reason, I've been lucky. Not a single one I could say was boring. Even our class, we were smart, and the school teachers love teaching us. But if if I talk about someone special, I would say yes, Mrs. Ahmed was my favorite teacher ever. My O-level science teacher. I think she retired in 2004. When I was in grade 10, she retired. I love her because she she understood what student centered teaching was. There are two teaching approaches: student centered teaching and teacher centered teaching. So she always tried to cater to the needs of the student and super humble and very positive about students. Okay, she was like a mother, punctual, doing her duty, and sometimes when it comes to mistakes in notes as well as, my God, how to handle situations. She's a kind of role model to me. A commitment to the job. My God, really inspired me. Even the one who's succeeded her in grade 11 class, Mr. Domingo de Silva, is a marvelous teacher, doing the best, and he never went to the class late, or he never came into the class late. Always made us believe that we were special. Okay, so Mrs. Ahmed and Mr. Domingo de Silva, two teachers, so my all class teachers. I love them. Okay, right. Mrs. Mihir, how interested are you in science today? Why? Why? Sorry, can't hear you. What do you mean? Other than means what? No, no, no. Me. Singale hitandepa. Okay? Don't do that. So, okay, you ask me the same question. I will show you how to answer that question. Mrs. Mihir, you read third question. Read the question properly, lady. Okay, to be honest, I'm more interested in science today than ever before. You understand? I'm more interested in science now, today, than ever before. The reason is, when I was in school, I loved the science period because of what I learned there. And I had no idea why I should learn or why they were teaching. But anyway, I loved what they were teaching. But today, I understand that it is much more than that. You know, still there's a mystery about the world. So science is a mystery. So in science, they are trying to answer all the curiosities we have. Okay, the mystery of creation, they are trying to analyze and explain. So they are basically making us ready to take on the task of unraveling these mysteries. Okay, that's what I feel. I think I told you earlier, I love astrophysics. You know, I read a lot about Elon Musk and his, attempts to, colonize Mars, you know. And now I have a greater understanding about black holes, and I have my own theory about black holes. Okay. I'll tell you like, okay, Mrs. Mary, you have any idea, or I think you know, how is a black hole formed, you tell me? Oh, is it formed like what is a black hole? Okay, if you don't know, you can say, I'm sorry, I have no idea. Yes. Or you can say, I'm afraid I have no idea. Is it? Very good. I'm afraid I have no. That's brilliant. Um, Chana, do you know what a black hole is? Yes. Now, it is pathetic. It is pathetic. You know why? Someone who has a degree in IT, information technology, who calls himself a software engineer, maybe in the future, a man who's going to be an engineer has no idea about a black hole. How pity are you guys? This is me being funny, okay? Don't take anything seriously. Okay, so that's the first thing to learn in a biology class, Mrs. Mary. Like your favorite subject is physics, right? Mrs. Mary. So, my God. So when you do not know what a black hole is, how the hell are you going to learn what physics is? So what are you going to do with physics? Yeah, it's not your fault to be honest. Even those projectiles, velocity, acceleration, basic concepts you had to learn about space. Our teachers didn't teach us that. Imagine this happening in space. Okay, but there were some lucky people who got the right picture about physics. Okay, now I'll do a small science lesson and you tell me if you agree or disagree. It's going to be super interesting to know. Where are we? Mrs. Mihiri, you know how many elements are there in the periodic table? Sorry. I didn't ask how many letters are there in the alphabet. I'm asking you how many elements. 128. Are you sure? You're sure? Oh, 108, I'm not sure. 108 rivers we had, right? Okay, so now I understand I'm old. Do you guys see the presentation? What I'm sharing now? Okay. Okay. Now this is interesting. Now remember, you trust me. Mrs. Mihiri, your language skills are very good. I want you to be confident in speech. That's why I do all of these things in English. So when you go to the exam, English is easy for you. Now, Kote, what is the first element in the periodic table? The name, hydrogen. Second element, are you sure? Okay. So how do I make this thicker? Right. So you say it is hydrogen. Second, helium. Are you sure? Next, high he, lithium. Then boron, high he, lily, bell, ballo, kal. Emini? High he, lily, ballo, nangi. Okay, alla, sipa, sana, sana, kella, other, something like that. What was this thing? Yes. Okay. Carbon and hydrogen, lithium, bell, and boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Emini? Cool. What happened? What happened? Science is interesting, you see. Okay, but the hydrogen is this, okay? I'm telling you. How many atoms are there? So in one hydrogen atom, there's one proton, isn't it? And then one electron. And neutrons also one maybe. However, this is an atom, isn't it? How many things? Yes. Huh? You can't see. Sorry. So what have I been doing? Now you can see the Janok. You can see now. Still, Miss Mary, you can't see. Yeah, I hope you see it now. Yes. Now you can see. So what I'm going to tell you is this. Okay. Now, hydrogen has one proton and one electron, isn't it? Helium. Helium is what? Two protons, two electrons. But this is wrong, actually. What I say is this. The name is wrong. You call this hydrogen and you call this helium, right? But I say that is wrong. You should call it element 1 in the sense 1 proton, 1 electron. That's what you should call it. Here you should call it 2 protons and 2 electrons. So what you have to understand is, this is simple. So multiply 1 proton and 1 electron by 2. What do you get? 2 protons and 2 electrons. So actually there is nothing called helium. You have 2 protons and 2 electrons. So when we were growing up, we heard stories about supernatural people with supernatural powers turning dust into gold, such things. Do you remember? Turning dust into a valley. Have you not heard? Turning. Huh? Yes, you think it's possible or not? It is possible. It is definitely possible, That is what is happening in the sun. The universe is not made of hydrogen. That is wrong. You have to call it, universe is made of subatomic particles. Okay? Basically, the most abundant element in the world, they say, is hydrogen. Most abundant කියන එක තේරුම මොකද්ද? වැඩිපුරම හම්බ වෙන කියන එකනේ නේද? Most abundant element කියලා. එහෙම hydrogen එක නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ. මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Proton, 1 proton and electron. This is the basic building block of the universe. So this is there, and there are some spots in the universe where there is a lot of gravity. So my explanation is correct, I think. Okay? So where there is a lot of gravity, I mean massive amount of gravity, you can't imagine now. On the earth, gravity is this, right? 10 ms roughly. Yes? Acceleration. But in a black hole, it is like 1 10 to the power about 18 zeros, maybe more than that. That kind of gravity it has, like in certain pockets of the universe. Okay, so what happens is all those elements in one spot, the protons and electrons. Okay, let's say there are plenty of this thing. They are compressed, and then what happens? Let's say two protons and 2 protons. They come together. Of course, a proton is accompanied by an electron, definitely, So what do you get? What you call helium, isn't it? This is why it's difficult for you to understand what happens in the sun even. Hydrogen becomes helium. They say, no, bloody hydrogen it does not become helium. It is 1 proton, which is naturally accompanied by an electron. When pressed together because of massive amount of gravity, okay, forming something like this. So there's a chemical process. So they exchange electrons. Make a yellow class yes or not? I am teaching you. I thought about it. Then what happens? So after some time, all the hydrogen will be burned out. Okay, so simply 2 protons, 2 electron formations, like all the hydrogen, or what you call 1 proton elements, will burn out. And then what will be left? 2 proton, 2 electron elements. Yes? Like, and then they will be pressed together and form what? 4 proton, 4 electrons. And what do you call it? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, isn't it? No, carbon is 8. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. Is this beryllium? So that's why I don't forget those bloody names. You don't need bloody names. You have to learn it as 4P4E. Everybody knows what will happen. So would that not be easier for a clever child to, memorize this way? Rather than saying hydrogen, helium, bloody thing? What do you think? I'm just making a point. Mrs. Mehri, is it not that much easier? Yes, definitely. So, Chanut, what is that element? What is the name given? So actually you have to say, what is the name given to something that has 4 protons and 4 electrons? Beryllium. Then 4 protons and 4 electrons, combining, and you get what? 8 protons and 8 electrons, which is called carbon, isn't it? Is it oxygen? Carbon is what? 6. Yes. Hydrogen, helium, oxygen. Okay. So what I have learned is this keeps happening, and there is a, like, this is what happens in a star. So gravity becomes so much, and then what happens? Oxygen is combustible, For the oxygen is combustible. It explodes, yes or not? Yes. So when, I'm not 100% sure, this is just a theory of mine, okay? Something I am thinking. So when, this is, what happens in the sun is hydrogen becoming helium. So I just explained what happens inside the sun. So when you get oxygen, what do you think will happen? It's already a fireball there. Yes or not? So a fireball gets oxygen inside the core. Then what happens? It explodes, yes? And that is what we call the dying of a star. You understand? You understand? Stars die, they say, like a supernova. Have you heard? Iraq කියන එක විනාශ වෙනවා කියලා අහලා තියෙනවා. So they say our sun also will die in 5 billion years. Okay? ඇත්තට මේ hydrogen කියලා එකක් නැහැ. මම කියන්නේ. It's a name we give, but what we have is anywhere in the world is protons. So the world is made of protons. Okay? So what I'm saying is this thing. They have a theory. They have a theory about how black holes are formed. Black holes are formed. Actually, I don't say black holes are formed. It is the black holes that create suns. Do I have a point or not? මට පොඩි කාලේ ඔය තාරකා විද්‍යාඥයෝ කියන්නේ තාරකා විද්‍යාඥ සංගමයයි කියන්නේ black hole එකක් හැදෙන්නේ ඉරක් පිපුරුනාට පස්සේ ඒකට අර තියෙන යකඩ ඔක්කොම ටික මේවා වෙනවා කියලා. පොතේ මේ යකඩ Fe කියන්නේ 16 protons. Is it? You don't. Then 32. 26. Okay. So 8 into 2, 16. 16 into 2, 32. Isn't it? Okay. So what I'm saying is, somewhere here, an explosion happens. So according to my understanding, when oxygen is there in a fireball, it explodes. So I might be wrong. This is just a theory, but it definitely happens. You ask anybody. So I believe a black hole, which is a gravity pocket in the universe, creates the suns. So a solar system can appear anywhere in the universe where there is uh, massive gravity. I'm talking about gravity we can even imagine, you know. So this is science, this is physics. So that is why I'm interested in science today. You get it? This I learned. So you see, in school, this is what we have to do. But you don't know, Buddha. There were students. I mean, they don't say everything, they don't share things with us. But I'm sure most of our friends, uh, maybe they were thinking about these things. They had some idea about these things when we had no idea why we learned science. Okay? So they are there because their parents may be guided them. Now, if I have a son, I will definitely teach him this. But I'm super generous. I like sharing my knowledge. Okay. So, Mrs. Mihri, would you like to have a science teacher like me in your school? Maybe. Yes. Definitely. So, Chanut, now for your engineering career, you think this lesson I taught you today would be instrumental? Maybe. So you look at the universe differently, okay? Right. So I answered that question. Then, what is the next question? Can you all see what I'm sharing? No, right? Yeah. Next question is, what do you think has been an important recent scientific development? This is a very common question in exams today. Okay. Because I am a reader, I know I can answer. Mrs. Smith, you answer. What do you think has been an important recent scientific development? Why? Come on. If you get a question like this, you have to say something. You should know. The best thing is to know. Now, the question is, what do you think has been an important recent scientific development? One particular thing we are talking about, a scientific development. So, how do you manage this type of question? You tell me. Huh? No idea. I'm sorry, I have no idea. Okay, that is good. It's a good response if you really have no idea. Chanakpada? Chanakpada. Look at the question, everybody. Question is, what do you think has been an important recent scientific development? Recent. My answer is AI, artificial intelligence, or quantum computers. You agree? Yes. So I think recently we have had a lot of progress in AI or artificial intelligence. There are lots of AI driven softwares that help us to do it. It is revolutionizing all technologies. It is used everywhere in health, in transport, in sports, in communication. My God, AI is everywhere. Okay? And another thing I can talk about is quantum computers. We have supercomputers with the capacity to, my God, do things 1,000 times faster than a normal computer. So quantum computers, they use, I think, quantum physics. I'm not sure about the absolute or the real technology behind it, but I know they exist. They are meant to be used by social media networks like Facebook, because normal people of ordinary means cannot afford it. So that would be my answer. Shanath, how would you answer this? Shanath Malli, how would you answer this? Right. Mrs. Mary. Okay, yeah, what is it? You have anything to say, Mrs. Mary? Do you have anything to say? You were going to say something. Okay, right. So I have recorded your speech. Okay, in a moment I will show